Hi, this is Sean D'Souza, and you're listening to the 3-Month Vacation Podcast. This podcast isn't some magic trick about how to work less. Instead, it's about how to really enjoy the work that you do and to enjoy your vacation time. Hi, I'm Sean, and you're listening to the 3-Month Vacation. This is going to be a short podcast, but it is to answer a very critical question, and that is the market saturated? If you've stepped into this market right now, you will get the feeling that it's saturated. But is it saturated? That is the question that we're dealing with today. If you go to the bookstore today or to Amazon, you'll notice that there are new cookbooks. But if you go back in another month, there's another set. And then the third month, a third set, and the fourth month. It's the same thing. No matter which year or which month you pick in the last 20 years, you'll find the books are changing all the time. And if you were to extrapolate 20 years into the future, once again, the market will continue to have new cookbooks. Which makes no sense at all because we know that almost any recipe that we want is already online. If you want to make a butter chicken, there are probably 5,000 videos on it. You prefer something vegetarian instead, there are likely to be another 5,000 videos on that vegetarian option. And next month, there will be more videos on the same topic, but also more viewers. And in the bookstore, there are more books and more buyers. If you're scratching your head at this point, it's because you know that this scenario is true. Why then does the market continue to exist? It does because of a factor of like. People look for people that they like. When I started watching YouTube videos on Indian cooking, I watched a chef called Va Chef. Since then, I've moved on to another channel and yet another and then another and several others. My taste for the video and the presentation keeps changing, and over time, I find that I like one more than the other. Which is why a market never seems to get saturated. People should stick to one person, but they never do. No one says, you cheated on your favorite channel, or you cheated on your cookbook author. And you know this to be true because if you're into marketing, you have many books. You have authors who you liked, who you currently like, and those you will like in the future. Some will continue to be favorites, and some will lose that status over time. Nonetheless, the idea that the market is saturated is just a feeling, not a reality. If you go back in time when your grandma was your age, there were already enough books on cooking, on philosophy, on politics, on every possible topic that you could think of. All of those printing presses should have come to a grinding halt. 20 years ago, we already had millions of websites. But here's the good news. Even in the world of websites, when we have over 1.5 billion websites today, fewer than 200 million are active. And those business owners must have thought, wait a second, there are so many billion websites. Why should we continue? The internet is saturated. And so everything should stop. And yet, the internet or offline products or whatever you look at, there is no saturation point, at least none that we know of. And the reason is because our tastes keep changing. Even when you look at the same recipe and it's explained by somebody else, it just feels different. And so you like that explanation or that person or that method, and therefore that market keeps expanding. This is also the reason why we at Psychotactics continue to exist and thrive. We are not going down some fancy path. Look at what we sell. We sell an article writing course. We sell a sales page course. We sell a book about conversion called The Brain Audit. Do these products exist already? Of course they do. And a year or a month from now, another 100 or 1,000 more of these products will exist. Which is to say that the market isn't saturated at all. The question needs to be slightly different. And the problem that you have shouldn't be, should I give up because the market is saturated? But instead, how do I enter a saturated market, or what I think is a saturated market, and have an everyday product and still stand out? And that's a much longer answer. So we're going to take the next episode to tackle that big question. How do you enter that market that is completely saturated, or that you think is saturated, and how do you stand out? But for now, this myth is destroyed once and for all, and that's the most important thing. And that's pretty much it for me. I'll say bye for now. Bye-bye.